At 78, Lim Ah Yin's memory isn't what it used to be, but one memory is crystal clear. As an 11-year-old in the village of Batang, British soldiers forced her into a truck. As she was driven away, she heard shots as her father was executed and watched as her childhood home was burned to the ground. She's come to the UK to demand an apology from the British government.
I definitely have a responsibility not only to my father but also to the others who died horribly. None of them had been given any food before they were killed. Their bodies were left in the hot sun for 7 days. It was horrible. They were lying down in a row like planks. Their bodies were all bloated.
In 1948, Britain was battling communist fighters during the so-called Malayan emergency. The official British line on Batang is that the unarmed men were shot trying to escape. At the time, the killings were portrayed as a military victory, but in 1970, 6 of the soldiers involved confessed to murdering the villagers in cold blood. 2 investigations followed, but both were blocked by the British government. Their lawyers argue that if the UK was liable for these deaths, that liability fell away with independence in 1957. A weak argument, says the lawyer representing the survivors.
Britain had a legal responsibility for the people who were killed. After all, this was a British protected state, and Britain's role there was to protect its nationals, and the people who were killed were British subjects.
In a statement, the Ministry of Defence said this was a deeply regrettable incident. It would not be appropriate to comment further whilst legal proceedings are ongoing. But the 7 survivors, including Lo Ah Choi, have already waited more than 60 years for an apology. Other relatives of the victims, like Chong Kun Ying, who we've interviewed before, have since died. Lim Ah Yin is determined to see justice in her lifetime.
Judges here could take months to make a decision, but if they do order the government to further investigate what happened at Batang, it could open the floodgates to other historical incidents where British security forces have shot civilians, forcing the question to what extent should the military be subject to human rights laws. Charlie Angela, Al Jazeera, London.